Hey everybody, good evening.
Hi,
It is Sunday night. We're coming live from Las Vegas.
Eric and Shannon Miller.
Hope
It's Miller
everybody's
time.
Yeah, it is Miller time. That's right. Hope
So,
everybody's been having a good weekend. We're gonna wait for some people to come in. If when you come on, just say hi. If you have a question,
yes,
shoot.
say hello. Is everybody ready for Monday? I am. Every day feels like Saturday.
Can't complain about that.
Say hello if you come on. We'd love to hear from you guys.
So, should we get started a little bit?
Yeah, that's fine.
So basically, our kind of what we find the most pleasure and the most value in these days really is connecting and impacting lives. So we figured, kind of, what better way than to share our stories so people can get to know us. We want people to know who we are and know about us.
Right. Hi, Kalani. How are you?
Hi.
You know us, but you don't know our history, girl.
Right.
And I think that that's the biggest thing, is that as we've, grown as people and as we've grown in our business, really getting to know people and their story and what their dreams and aspirations are has been amazing. And hearing where people come from is also even more intriguing. So I think that, there's a lot of perceptions when you see people on social media and you just know them from their photos and their posts, but it's really, really, really interesting to dig deep and hear, where people come from.
Yeah, the best way to get to know people.
Hi, Benny from Minnesota.
Oh, hello.
You're up really late.
So that's way you get to know people is through their story. Everybody has a story, and we're no different.
Right. So do you want to start?
Sure, let's get started. So
let's start way back when.
So we're gonna start way back. So Shannon and I met in 2013.
What year is it?
I think it's 2014. But anyway, 14. So Shannon and I were both married previously, and Shannon had 2 children from a previous marriage. So we are a blended family.
Yes, we are.
And believe it or not, we met the old-fashioned way, and that
Match.com.
Match.com. It works.
Yeah, and I actually reached out to Eric. I was going through profiles one night, and I saw that face, and I did like that little wink face, like, who is this guy? Maybe he'll speak to me.
Right.
So, and from there we just started chatting, and our first date, I was like, all right, we'll see if this guy, I'm going to be real with you. We live in Las Vegas, so you kind of never know what you're going to get. So, and he showed up. I was actually pleasantly surprised that he looked just like his photos, and he wasn't a weird stalker guy.
Hey, Pearson.
Hi, Pearson.
Hey, Grish.
Grish. Daniel, Marianne. Hi, guys. Thank you.
So, yeah, so when we met, I was actually, I'd only been divorced 6 months. So,
yeah, and I had been out a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that dinner, though, we sat down, and I was so just engaged in that conversation. It was just that immediate connection.
Yeah.
And I actually went home that night. My mom was watching my kids that night. And I went home, my mom said, how did it go? And I said, well, I'm pretty sure that I just met my future husband.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I don't think we were apart ever after that. We shot the thing every night. I was working long hours in Pahrump. It was about like an hour commute pretty much, but I would stop at her house every night. And
I'd make him dinner.
And we'd wait till the kids were asleep, so that because we didn't want to introduce me to the children too soon. I met them about a month later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So needless to say, things progressed pretty quickly, and we got engaged pretty quickly, and we got married.
Yeah, he took me to Hawaii, and I hadn't been on a plane since I think I was like 11 or 12. And I'm like, this guy is going to take me to Hawaii? What the heck? Like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but he, proposed to me, and it was amazing, and like the rest is kind of history. But from there, as we kind of grew as a family, Eric and I both had this, passion for helping other people. And for me specifically through my journey, personal development wise, I changed so much when I met Eric. I had been through a lot as a single mom, and trying to survive in that world. It's crazy. And he always supported me, and he was always, pushing for me to better myself and take time for me. And through that, I really found my love of fitness and became kind of a freak a little bit, and became a personal trainer. And, Eric, I know you want to share a little bit. He, obviously has a passion for helping other people. He's a doctor. It's kind of what you do.
Yeah, kind of what I do.
A little bit.
So yeah, so I mean, for years I knew I wanted to have my own practice at some point, and I had about in 2008 I had been exposed a little bit to medical weight loss, and I always believed that that there was an association between weight and disease and weight and quality of life. I mean, not that people who suffer with weight issues can't have a good quality of life, but it was important to me that I help people reach goals that made them feel comfortable and also limited their risk for disease. So it was something I always knew I wanted to do, but I couldn't put the pieces together. Right? I just
You can't do that in an office.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but how many times have you been into your doctor's office and you actually get to have time to ask questions and learn from your doctor?
Right.
Like, it's just not there.
So I think, and I said on previous videos that I was extraordinarily frustrated. I would come home, I would leave actually every patient encounter or the majority of patient encounters really frustrated. I felt hopeless. I felt like I was not doing what I set out to do. I literally felt like it was a waste of my time, believe it or not. I just felt like I was putting Band-Aids on things and I was not able to address the things that people needed. I didn't have the tools, I didn't have the resource, I didn't have the time, I didn't have the support, especially in the world of corporate medicine. So
yeah. Corporations? I don't understand.
So basically, it became apparent early in our relationship that we wanted to build something. We didn't know what, but we wanted to build something together. Shannon and I wanted to be together always.
Yeah, and we found that, you get married, you both work separate jobs, you have children that are off to school, and they're in daycare before and after school, and you never see each other. And the short period of time that you do, it's the weekend, and you're busting butt to get ready for Monday.
Right.
So we decided that, number one, we want to follow our passion, and our passion is helping other people. And number two, we also want, our family, and we wanted to grow our family and be together as much as possible. So we decided that we are going to launch our own medical weight loss practice.
The American dream.
Yeah, own your own business.
The American dream. So we came up with this model where we decided to do a concierge medical weight loss practice. And to our knowledge, it had never been done. So our goal
was... Not
was...
this form anymore.
Right. So it was just the two of us, but we were going to go to people's homes and go to their offices, wherever they were most comfortable, where they could be vulnerable, so we could really address the underlying issues, not just superficially, here's a medication. We really wanted to get into... we wanted to dig deep in people's lives, and we were, again, it was the American dream. We were so excited. We launched the practice, and I think literally we would turn to each other and we say, "Oh, hello, business owner."
Yeah.
Like we were so excited to be business owners because
that's the dream.
That's
right?
the dream.
That's the dream. And that you think that's the dream, but we'll talk about how that dream has evolved and what we really figured out we were seeking. But we worked really hard, you guys. It came to the point when you especially when you start a business, you put so much into it, it becomes this, like, you get to clock in and out of your 8 to 5. When you own your own business, you never clock out, like, ever. I was saying more often than not, mom's busy, I'm working, go do this. Mom's busy, I have to do this. So it's kind of defeating the purposes of us being together. Mm. And not only that, but you're so overwhelmed with trying to grow a business that you're stressed, you're frustrated, and then of course that takes a toll on your relationship. I mean, there's just no question that has to happen to everybody.
Right. And we were essentially newlyweds. I mean, we were newlyweds.
Yeah. So guys, we were newlyweds. We were a newly blended family. So this beautiful man became a father of 2 very quickly. And then we launched our own business. So, I mean, we are kind of go-getters, but whoa, that's a lot of stuff. Right.
So we launched the practice, and again, we were really excited, very idealistic, and we started to take on patients, and we were devoting all of our time to our patients, and we loved our patients, and we actually to this day have made some very
like Miss Christy.
Oh, hi,
Christy. Hi, love the baby face too.
So again, we met some really amazing people, but they couldn't talk because it was a medical practice. So there was
nobody's connected.
There was that separation, and then not to mention we had some nice results with people. We lacked the resources, because I was I'm board certified in obesity medicine, and I would go to the conferences, and I didn't find that I was getting the applicable nutritional facts. It wasn't something I could bring to
People weren't feeling amazing.
Right. People were having results.
You can lose weight, but you don't necessarily feel amazing while you're doing it.
So it's funny. We started off with meal prep, and if someone ever said to me that anything but meal prep, we would say, no.
Oh yeah, we would have been like, you're crazy.
People have to make the
Don't
food.
talk
You
to
have
us
to make the
about
food. You have to make your food. You have to make your food.
Right. Until one day we got really frustrated.
Right.
I was so frustrated, you guys, and I was really, really exhausted myself. You know, we also well, I don't anymore, but he still competes in bodybuilding. And you look great on the outside, but you're not feeling so hot. Like, I had no energy. My hormones were all over the place. I was meal prepping like a crazy person. I love him. He does not cook, guys.
I'm making sweet potatoes right now.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
I-
he made breakfast for the kids this morning.
I did.
That was good. But he doesn't cook, so I was meal prepping like crazy.
Right.
And I finally was like, listen, we got to find something that at least can, and I called it supplementing, just supplement, you know, what we're doing and what other people are doing.
Well, let's go back a little bit, because again, we started this practice to bridge the gap between medicine, training. Yeah, there was a gap. There still exists a massive gap. But we started to bridge that gap, but we still couldn't. Again, there was still a gap with our patients.
Missing.
There was still a gap with our patients in terms of because meal prep is not sustainable, and we realized that really quickly.
If you haven't tried it, try it.
It's very, very difficult. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's not sustainable, and it just wasn't having the impact. And we're finding people getting more and more frustrated. They were micromanaging their diets. They were literally dissecting their diets, and it was
not fun.
That's not a way to live.
Right, and you don't feel very good.
Right.
You just don't. So we ended up being introduced to a system. And at that point, you know, Eric and I were really frustrated. You know, like I said, I was exhausted. He was exhausted. And we get introduced to this system. And the people that introduced us, we just fell in love with them. We, just like with him, immediate connection with these people. Like, we just want to know them. And they introduced us to this system. And I was apprehensive, to say the least, because I didn't believe in systems. I didn't believe that there was anything better than meal prep, that you could feel any better than just eating, you know, that clean food. And so we ordered our system, and it sat on the floor for a little bit because I was apprehensive. And so eventually he's like, listen, are you going to try the dang thing? Because it's been sitting on the freaking floor where you bought it. Like, just try it. What's the worst that could happen? So I decided to dive in. He was still competing in a show, so he couldn't quite do it yet. And I started it, and within, you guys, 2 freaking days, I felt amazing. And I had called him while he was out of town, and he was like, what? Like, what did you take today? Like, you're a crazy person. You're all over the place. You have so much energy. What's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just doing this system, and I love it. Like, I feel amazing. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So and then he tried it. Yeah,
and again, the same thing. It just completely changed how I felt mentally and how I felt my performance in the gym and just overall my mood. And because before that, even with the business, I was present, but I wasn't present. And I felt I was grumpy. I was grumpy.
You see that face?
I didn't feel good inside. I didn't feel good about what I was doing, and I just didn't feel good. So once we started putting these products in our body, things completely changed.
Right. And then we started introducing it to our friends and our family, and what we saw happen was completely incredible. And you know, then we're like, okay, something's happening here. Just leave them. So something is happening. So we started really diving deep, and really our missing link was nutrition. Right. Was real nutrition, because you can't really get it out of the grocery store.
Right. It's not, our food is not doing it anymore.
Right.
And once we learned that, I actually, to be honest, I'll be real honest, I felt kind of ashamed, because I felt like I had been doing a disservice to my patients, because here I was recommending something that I realized, gosh, like it wasn't the answer. And I was telling people, and it wasn't the answer. So Christy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But anyway, so because our food, it's empty. Right. It's empty. It's missing the nutrition. So I think, again, I sent videos before.
Like, until you get it in your body, you don't understand. And we didn't either. Like, we did not get it until we started it. And we were like, whoa, like, what were we missing this whole time?
Right. And a lot of people actually don't believe that. Well, our food is not empty. Our food is empty. So I always hear, I eat clean. Yeah, you eat clean, but it's clean.
You're still missing
from a macronutrient standpoint. Again, I don't want to get too deep, but it's empty. So once we got these products, it was literally like a light bulb went on, and a light came on inside of us, and we just were compelled to share this with people, and that's what we started doing.
Right. And then we started really getting involved in the community and the business. And that right there changed our lives.
Right.
You know, the nutrition was phenomenal for our bodies, our minds, and you know, all of that. But the community and the business is what has really, truly changed everything for us, you guys. You know, I used to say that we lived on Miller Island. It's beautiful there, but it's lonely. Like, we didn't have a community. And when we got hooked up with this group, it absolutely changed everything in our household and our business and everything. So do you want to share a little bit about like your feeling when we got into that community?
Yeah, so that's really what's made the difference for us. I mean, you know, like when you have a job, when I go to the office, you're surrounded by people, and I'm just being, I don't know statistically, but what percentage of people do you actually want to be around that you work with?
Okay, some of those people are on my Facebook, and listen, I love you, but like, it was miserable. Everybody was miserable. I did not like clocking in.
Right.
Any reason, like, can I run an errand? I'll go to the store, you know,
Right.
Get out.
So for the first time in our lives, we were actually surrounded by a massive culture of literally, I love every single one of them. Whoever's
family.
on right now,
we love you.
And you guys have changed our lives, and it's.
So, you know, with our business, with Transformed, you know, we had a huge overhead. Even being that it was a concierge service, we had this huge overhead. And that was a huge stressor for us. Huge. I mean, you're trying to build this business and you have this huge overhead. And once we got involved with this system, number one, obviously it changed us physically, mentally. Then we got hooked up with this amazing group of people that absolutely have changed our lives, that people that come on with us, they get to get connected. Now they have support. And so we're all this huge team. It really brought us to question, you know, what were we really trying to do when we started our practice? Number one, we were trying to change lives. And number two, we were really trying to create freedom for ourselves. And are we creating freedom with the regular, you know, American dream, own your own business? No. It strapped us down, and it caused more shit. It literally owned us. Yeah. And so once we got involved with this company, I like, it's literally changed everything. Like, we have so much freedom. We work from wherever we want. We get to work with whomever we want. We get connected with the most amazing people. And everybody that's involved in this is involved in personal development and really trying to be a positive impact on the world. Like, you can't get that in corporate America. I'm sorry. And they're going to tell you how much you are worth. And usually it's not as much as you would probably think you are.
Right. So basically, we partnered with a company that taught us that service, when the service of others is by far the most beautiful thing that we can do. So I don't know if you guys have seen, we posted something that said this is not about us. Right. And that's what we've learned. And that's what, again, our goal has always been to impact, but and it still is this day, that we want to impact as many lives as we can. And we found the vehicle, and we always say it's changed our lives. And Shannon mentioned some of the ways it changed our lives, but like she said, freedom. And we have the ability to work from wherever we want. We work together. We work with our children by our side. I will never miss anything, you know, which is unheard of for a physician. I will miss nothing any milestone of my child's life, and that's amazing. And we're able to build an income that is, again, there's no cap on what we can do. No one tells us, okay, that's enough. You know, you're going to surpass me now, so you're gonna have to stop. So nobody tells us that. So, and the beautiful thing about this company.
What kind of business is this?
So this is a network marketing company. So what's beautiful about that is, it's a amazing company, and the primary means of distribution and sharing.
Through networking. Imagine that.
Is word of mouth.
The same thing that we were doing with our business that we paid so much money for, but we had hardly any reach because of the way that we had structured it. But we actually get to impact people in more than just the way that we had originally intended to with this. Right. You know, we went out just to help people with their health and for the mental aspect. We really wanted to help people, you know, get to a better place in their mind, really, because that's what that journey is. But having a vehicle to change people's life and allow freedom in a different way is absolutely amazing. Like I can't explain that in any other way.
Right.
So that's our story.
That's the majority of our story.
That's part of it.
Yeah, so again, we really just wanted to share a little bit about ourselves and our journey so far. Again, we are nowhere near the end of our journey, but again, we always say our lives are completely different, and they're different in every aspect.
I've never been this happy.
Right.
Ever.
Every aspect of our life is different. It's because of this vehicle that we have now, where we can create anything we want, and the best part, we can help others create whatever it is they want, from a physical standpoint, from a health standpoint, from a financial standpoint. I didn't know it existed, but thank God for some wonderful people who saw what we needed.
They nailed us.
And opened our eyes. They saw what we needed.
And you know what? Thank God we were in a place where we were open to the possibility that maybe we just didn't know something. Because clearly there was something going on that we didn't know.
People miss opportunities every day. That there's opportunities everywhere, but we miss them because we're not open to them. But again, I think back to the day that we were open, that we were. And we were not open. Like
no, we weren't. We were open, but we weren't. Like it was not a good day.
Right, but we
were grouchy.
But we knew we needed something different. Yeah. And we wanted different, and we saw a brief vision of our life. But we saw it in respect, relative to where we were. Okay, we're here. Maybe we can get here. Maybe we can break even and pay off the debt for our business. But now.
Oh my God, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge, you guys.
Right.
So anyways,
yeah,
we thought we'd share. We probably went a little longer than we had anticipated, but as you can tell, we're a little passionate about what we do. And I love seeing the posts. Love you, Jennifer and Leslie, Christy.
Thank you guys for coming on and supporting us.
Thank you for supporting us, Jessica. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. And, I hope that everybody's having a great Sunday. You guys are ready for the next week. Ready to crush it.
We love you all. And if anybody has any further questions, you want to message us privately, or if you'd like to know more about what we do, again, we just want to help you create the life you want. That's all we want. That's all we want. So again, please reach out to us if you have some questions, and we love all of you.
Okay. Bye.
Have a good night.
Love you.